Hi guys, this is Lashette from Scarlet Moon Creations and I'm back with a new video. This is an announcement of the Remixed Classic Readalong for 2024. Okay, so before we get into it, genocide is still being committed on the people of Palestine. So there are still links in my description where you can keep abreast of what is going on outside of major Western media sources, because one, they lie or stretch the truth quite often. If not, they are biased towards Israel, and we got enough of that. Or, as the journalists on the ground say, everything that they film, everything interview that they do, it has to go through Israeli check throughs. It has to be approved by the Israelis first before it can be shared or aired. So do with that information what you will. So in order to continue to learn, there are links in the description to books and other sources and articles where you can learn about the war on Palestine, basically, and how we got here historically, and also with current events, starting with the bombings on October 7th. If we're talking about the current back and forth, but mostly current bombings and destruction from Israel. And then there are many links to non-major press who are on the ground currently in Gaza, letting us know what's going on. Please do be prepared. This is currently happening. It's a lot of stuff is uploaded immediately as it's occurring. People are dying, children, men, women, homes are being destroyed, people are distraught, depressed, some maybe even feeling a lack of hope temporarily. And as human beings, I don't expect that to not affect you. So go into those links with some preparedness on your part. And links to how you can support, whether it's boycotting, whether it's donating, so that when humanitarian aid is allowed in, you can send stuff. How you can help people have internet access or phone access, because quite often Israel turns off the electricity and the internet and even the water and heat in Palestine. And yeah, please, people you can follow here, ways you can help by contacting your local congressmen and senators, and things you can say over the phone or via email or by letter. All of that is down in the description below until there is a permanent ceasefire, pretty much. Because this is a genocide. All the experts say it, history says it, and while Israel has a right to protect its country, decimating the people they've already been subjugating is not okay. It will never be okay. So, that being said, I did a community post. I posted on my social media accounts, and I have heard nothing, and might be feeling a little type of way, but now there's a fire. And I noticed that when people host read-alongs, they tend to read the books. I've joined several read-alongs, and some have been successful and others have not. Personally, I feel like it's the length of the books and then how easily I can get them to be in the mood or whatever. But I've been eyeing this pseudo series for a little over a year. Almost since it's been started, but not quite, since there was book 3. So, to explain, Remixed Classics is a series of classic books that are retold by BIPOC and LGBT QIA plus authors. So they're taking, like I said, classics, which are usually white European or American males, or the stories are usually written by white European American males, and giving these stories to be kind of retold in not necessarily a modern sense, but a non-patriarchal Caucasian point of view, and in many cases a non-cishet white point of view. So I will go over the books. I don't know how many pages everything is. Like, I'm looking on Storygraph right now. I didn't make a plan because I was like, well, when people join me, no one has joined me, and that's okay. If no one does, that's fine. But this is, kind of non-traditional in the fact that it's not a series where all of the stories are connected or the world is connected, as far as I'm aware, or the characters are connected. What they have in common is what I've said. They're all literary classics, and they're retellings by BIPOC and LGBTQIA plus authors. So at the time of my filming this, December 2023, there are 8 classics and plans for one more. So I figure from January to September, I will read one of each book. And tentatively, I don't know how well this will go because I know some of these classics are really thick. I'm not 100% sure of the retellings, but nothing so far seems to have, there's no tomes here, so nothing over 500 pages. But I know some of the originals are. And what I might wind up doing, particularly if I get at least one person to buddy read with me, is also read the classics or reread the classics. I believe most of these I've already read at some point in my life. I know all the stories though. So we'll see. There's one in particular that I'm dying to reread because it's my favorite, what I call children's classic. I don't know if it counts as a children's classic, or just I don't know. Anyway, now let's go through the months and the books that I will be reading, and tentatively the classics I'll read as well that month. So the first month, January, is Treasure Island, retelling A Clash of Steel by C.B. Lee. This is a young adult Treasure Island, the golden age of piracy. We have some LGBTQIA plus rap in here. I do believe that the main characters are female presenting, at least, so that's a change already. Book 2, the one I was very hyped for, and when I heard about this, I was like, wait a minute, I'm gonna read this, and then I saw it was part of a series of retellings. Um, we have Little Women, my favorite children's literature, and I have not reread that in a while. So Many Beginnings by Bethany C. Morrow. Now, this is kind of historical fiction, and in this, we're following a African American or Black family or sisters during the American Civil War, rather than the four white sisters. I love the original. I've never read the other books, so I don't know that I'll get to that. But Little Women is thick. It's a thick one, and that's why I'm like a little hesitant. As much as I enjoy it, so that will be the book for February. March's book is a retelling or a remixed classic of Robin Hood. It's called Travelers Along the Way by Amina May Safi. I don't think I've ever read Robin Hood, and I have not read anything by this author. It says historical fiction and a thrilling YA remix. Oh, set in Jerusalem during the Third Crusade, 1192. We have another with BIPOC main characters instead. Now we have for April, the fourth book, Wuthering Heights. And I did read that, I think, in middle school. Did not love it, but I respect it for what it is. A mess. And the remix classic is by Tasha Suri, What Souls Are Made Of. Remix that subverts the default whiteness of the original text. So, I believe we're following Indian, or those of Indian descent, main characters in this. So we shall see. Next up for May, I don't have the months in front of me, and I keep like, May is the 5th month, right? Okay, another one super excited about because of the author, and so far she has never let me down, by Anne-Marie McLemore, a Great Gatsby remix, Self-Made Boys. And we have, it's another historical fiction, obviously, with LGBTQIA plus rep, and it looks like some BIPOC representation with at least one of the main characters, going by the cover. I don't know. Okay, this one I've heard a lot of people very hyped about, and this is a remix of Jekyll and Hyde by Kaylin Bayron. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing their name right. My Dear Henry, and there is BIPOC rap and LGBTQIA plus rap. So these are all YA classics, I guess, or if they were written now, they would be considered probably YA, or maybe they're just being rewritten as YA. But anyway, all of the main characters are not legally adults for the most part in their books. Like with Little Women, they get older. Wuthering Heights is a mixed bag. Jekyll and Hyde, now we have adults in the original, so or it's a bit of a mix. From what I remember, we go back and forth in timelines in the original Jekyll and Hyde story, so the doctor gets older, but we get a look back at his younger years. I don't know, but this does say young adults, so okay. And that is our book for the month of June. Now for July, we have a Romeo and Juliet retelling. Teach the torches to burn. Definitely LGBTQIA plus rep in this one, a historical romance for reasons. I wonder where this is gonna go. It's by Caleb Rohrig. Again, not sure I'm pronouncing that properly, but a queer teen boy discovers first love amid a bloody centuries-old feud set in Verona, Italy. I might also rewatch is it Baz Luhrmann? Romeo and Juliet? I'm not sure. August. We have the most recent release from the series. It came out September this year, but I'll be reading in August next year. A Secret Garden remix, a retelling, Into the Bright Open. I haven't read that since school, probably middle school, and that was the one time. I think I watched the movie, but it wasn't that much later, maybe high school, and like I know people love it, and there's a lot of pop culture references if people enjoy Secret Garden, but it's probably about time I reread that, right? This is by Cherie Damalin. It doesn't seem that anyone is really taking their stories out of the timelines they were originally set in, so they're not modernizing them, which is interesting. I'm not sure exactly what the remix is here, so we shall see. And last but not least, coming out in 2024, January, a Pride and Prejudice remix. I love Pride and Prejudice. So that is originally adult, but this says it will be a LGBTQIA plus young adult remix called Most Ardently by Gabe Cole Novoa. I am interested. So we shall see. And that will be September. I don't want to commit to anything further than that because I'm not sure. Like, these have been coming out kind of not haphazardly, as they go. Every year we get an announcement or two about a couple of books coming out, 2, maybe 3, that year. So far for 2024, I've only heard about the one in January. So we'll have to see. Part of the reason I want to do this is because these are the only retellings that I'm like somewhat interested in, or more than that. Like there's a couple I said I'm so here for that. But I don't really read retellings because I don't want to. I'm just like, why? And a lot of them seem to happen in YA, and that's not my age group for me, but I don't dislike YA. There are quite a few authors listed here that I am totally interested in, and that I love their writing. Bethany C. Morrow and Tasha Suri, Anna Marie Mclemore. Let me see. Yeah, those are the ones I know. I'm interested in how, even outside of those, the other stories, like I love Treasure Island, I love, Robin Hood, that'll be really interesting. Wuthering Heights will be interesting. I might be in the minority as far as people who are black from the US. I do quite enjoy The Great Gatsby, so I'm looking forward to that. And Pride and Prejudice, love it. So I'm interested to see how these are reworked. The ones that have originally mostly adult characters, I'm like, we're going to YA. Like the Romeo and Juliet one, I expect to be even I mean, they were teenagers, so that makes sense. The Wuthering Heights one, I'm like, I don't know. I don't remember them being that young. Well, Catherine was, I think, like a teenager, but I don't think Heathcliff was. So, and then Jekyll and Hyde, that's the one I'm like, I don't know. We shall see. But yeah, none of these are over 500 pages. None of them even reach 500 pages. The longest one seems to be the first one at 432 pages. So, not too crazy. Let me know if you're interested in joining me down below. That's my schedule and my plan. As far as rereading the original classics, let me know if you're down to do that, and I will also attempt to do so. Treasure Island is also a long one, so I'm like, the original, I need to know. But yeah, these all seem to be roughly around, altogether, average about 300 pages. The longest, like I said, being A Clash of Steel, the first one we're going to read at 432 books pages. The shortest being, the Jekyll and Hyde is the shortest. 259 pages. My Dear Henry, 259 pages. So that's my schedule. Alright, guys, I will see you in 2024. And if nothing else, if no one joins me, I'll be reading and letting you know how that goes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video if you like this, subscribe if you are new so you can see as I go through this Remixed Classics series next year and give you my updates. I don't know that I'll be doing live shows, but if people join me, maybe I will to talk about them. Otherwise, they'll be in wrap-ups or my recent reads whenever I get to them each month. I share this video so other people who might be interested in joining me, expanding their reading some retellings, reading more diversely if they aren't already, and maybe comparing and contrasting to the originals. If you're not interested, maybe somebody else might be, so do share. Links in the description to the Storygraph. I will make probably a Storygraph read-along challenge thing for this, and also you can be my friend there. You can also be my friend on Goodreads. I'm there as well. I just don't go into as much detail on Goodreads anymore. And there is also a link to my Etsy shop where I make all natural bath and body products. And there's included there a 10% off discount code if you would like to purchase anything this holiday season. Time is ticking. But if you'd like to start looking at Valentine's Day gifts, now is a good time to do so. Guys, that is it for me today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.